Greetings, the Astro 30 here, yet again. I've got sitting on the desk here a Sansui HTS-105 AV digital surround receiver. I bought it from the tip shop for $27.50 and its fault description is no sound. Okay. Also, sounds like stuff is rolling around inside of it, which is not a very good sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that into the dim bulb tester and we're going to verify the complaint and verify some other things at the same time. Alright, it's hooked up to the dim bulb. I'll turn this on, make sure that's off. Turn it on. It's glowing. I don't know if I heard any relays click in. Well, it looks like those are working. Alright. Well, there is a relay doing something. Alright, with the multimeter hooked up to the left channel, nothing seems to be there, although I might not have a very good connection. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up and have a quick look inside. Shut up, phone. Have a quick look inside. Oh. Wow, it's dirty in there. Got a fairly large sized toroidal transformer. Doesn't give me any information on what voltages it is at the moment. I can't see anything. There's the main circuit board with all the outputs. Yeah, down here are the ICs for the power amp on one there, one there. Looks like I've opened up a can of worms here. There's one relay. I'm assuming that's the relay I can hear clicking in. Ooh, what in the heck happened there? Oh, that's that nasty circuit glue crap. Oh my god, it looks like a diode exploded. So there's another relay over here, so I want to know which relay is the one clicking in and out. That one did go click, so there's no DC on the output by the sounds of things. That one disconnected. Okay. Right. Well, considering there is no DC apparently on the output, I should be able to hook up a speaker to it and just see what the thing does. Got it hooked up to the speaker. Turn it on. Can't hear anything coming out of the speaker. TV. Hang on. Oh, that's better. Looks like we've got an erratic, very erratic encoder here. Oh, I can hear hum coming out the speaker now. Yeah, that rotary encoder is going to need to be cleaned. I am on the right input, aren't I? Nothing coming out the tuner either. Okay. Goodbye. Now it's in standby. That seems to work fine. Welcome. Yeah, the display's a bit dim though. Okay, I've got no no output. There's a lot of dead things in here. Yeah, the only problem with this is there's no removable bottom panel, so in order to do any servicing you have to take the whole entire amplifier apart. So let's try this front, left, center. SR, surround right, surround left. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm plugged in the right places. Let's try the VCR input. That's the volume. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I'm just touching the top of transistors, capacitors, to see if I can, like, you know, get some blurt out of it. No. Okay. So let me see if I can find a schematic for this. Short answer to that is no. Alright, so I'm going to have to do it blind, and I've just noticed it's 23023 on that toroidal transformer. And looking at the two power amp chips, it's different circuitry on this side compared to this side. Okay, but yet they're only got a relay muting one set of outputs, which doesn't make any sense. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go for broke. I'm going to remove the main PCB. All it looks like I have to do is remove the bottom cover and, the back cover, and this tuner module, which plugs into there, so that's alright, and then pull the whole thing out from underneath and just, you know, inspect the underside. Alright, with the main PCB out, I don't see anything glaringly obvious. It wasn't that painful to take out, apart from a couple of corroded screws where you couldn't even get the screwdriver into the head, so I'd use a pair of vice grips to get them out. The only thing I did notice is not on this side of the board, but the top side. One of these 2200 microfarad 35 volt capacitors feels like it's bulging. I mean, you probably won't be able to see anything, but yeah, I can feel there's a slight rise to that one. That one's alright, that one's alright, and so is that one. I do have a couple of 2200 microfarad 63 volt ones. I don't know if this will fix the issue, but yeah, I might replace both of these capacitors. I don't have another set to go here, so it is what it is, but I'll do that, and I'll clean the PCB off, and I'll also look for some suspect joints underneath if I can find any. So I'll get back to you. Alright, about an hour later, I've cleaned it up as best as I can, you know. Soldered a couple of joints. I only replaced the one capacitor because that's the only one I could get to fit in there. That's a 50 volt one. I really should replace all the others, but I don't have them right now. I doubt that's the issue, but it would be an issue. Now, when I was resoldering all the joints on this PCB here, I'm not sure what that is, I think that's the microprocessor board, it smelt like something or someone has urinated on it. Because I could smell the strong smell of piss when, you know, resoldering those joints. And if you look at this, that's pretty corroded. So something, probably like a mouse or something's probably pissed on it. Who knows? Alright, I'm ready to power it up again. I've got the multimeter hooked across the right output channel just to look for any unusual DC. So, turn that on. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Let me hook up a speaker and see what happens now. Okay, speaker's hooked up. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Diddly squat. So I don't think this amplifier at the moment is savable. I mean, the display is awfully dim for a start. I mean, I can hear a hiss coming out of the speaker though, so it's obvious the amplifier, power amplifier is working, but apparently the preamplifier is not. Let me switch channels around. Well, with the channels switched around, nothing's happening. Although I was getting mains hum out of that channel for a second. Alright. I'm just wondering where the input to the power amp is. Okay, I found one. Okay, this is probably not a good idea to do this, but... Okay, we're getting a signal there. Alright, let me switch to the other channel. Alright, well the power amplifier is amplifying, but we're not getting anything off the preamp, which I have no idea why. I'm assuming the preamp's on the main circuit board here. Okay, I've been dicking around off camera and I've measured all voltages at all bridge rectifiers that I can find. All voltages seem to be present. I even measured the voltages across these JRC 4558 op-amp ICs, which I believe are part of the main preamp for each output. They've all got plus minus 12 volts between pin 4 and 8 respectively, so there's voltages getting in. I've removed the top board that was sitting here, which is that board. That smells like piss. This is the surround sound processing board, and I believe also the main MCU for the front panel, because as soon as you pull this out, the front panel no longer lights up anymore. And also I don't think any of the controls do anything. I even went as far as injecting a oscillator signal on the R-in input of this board, which is that one right there, and yeah, no joy, nothing came back out. So I'm coming to the strong conclusion that there is something wrong with this particular board, which means this amplifier is practically useless. There is a couple of crusty joints on this front PCB which don't look good. That goes to the rotary encoder too. So for the volume, that could be why it's acting erratically. Let me just touch those joints up and see if that fixes that problem at least. Well, I'm no closer to fixing this. I've probed around, I've checked all the output channels. They do actually work by touching the input capacitors on the power amp ICs. And yeah, I can't seem to get it to put a signal through from the input. And this is all dicky, it's not precise. It probably needs cleaning on the inside. The same is true for this one too. So this one cannot be fixed unless anyone's got any ideas, but yeah, without a schematic it's almost next to impossible, and I don't really want to put any more time into it. So I'm probably going to end this one here, and there's no muting relay for the outputs. Well, that was interesting. Let's do that again. Don't know what that is. Okay, it's the next day and I want to run a couple of more tests before I finalise this video. I haven't edited yesterday's footage because, well, reasons. Now, what would be a good idea is to see if the input signal is even getting from this point to the DSP board or digital sound processing board that has all the piss all over it, whatever it is. So I was probing around because the chassis is not grounded to the inputs, not grounded at all actually. I found there was continuity between this heatsink and the ground points of the RCA jacks, so that's a good enough ground point for my oscilloscope. And we've got down here, which you can't really see, and up there on the left hand side we've got the R in, audio ground, and left in. So I'm going to probe the left in, because I'm connected to the left input, and see if the signal's even making it to this board. Because if it's not making it to the board, well, obviously it's not going to go any further. I need to set my dim bulb up though, hang on a minute. Alright, the amplifier's turned on. So now I'm going to probe the left input, which might be a little bit more difficult because of where it's like. Actually, what I might do is I'll get this tuner module out of my way because it's not really needed at the moment for this basic testing, because, well, that's just another input really to the amplifier that's not, it's just in my way. Right, there it is out. This socket is bent anyway. I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah, look at all the pitting and rusting going on this can. Something's been spilt on it by the looks of things, or it's a big puddle of piss, one of the two. Right, so I can get to where I need to go now, which is the left input. And there we go, we actually do have a signal going in to the DSP board. Well, at least the audio path is coming in from here and going to the board, but where is the audio disappearing? So I guess the next thing to do would be to test the right hand input, make sure there's audio going in there, and then look at the outputs over here as well, because we've got front right, front left, surround right, which is the rear channels, center, and there's a mute function over here, or a mute pin, but I'm not sure what that does. But this board is so corroded, like covered in corrosion all over the SMD components. It could be a real good indication that this board is f***ed. So I'll switch my input lead around and I'll probe the right in here. We have a signal. Okay. Is it coming out the front right output? No, it's not. Alright, let's go back to left. Is it coming out the front left output? No, it's not. Can you see where this is going? Because I can. Alright, so this for some reason doesn't remember what input it was selected to when you turn it off. Who knows? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to test each of these other inputs just to make sure the signal is passing and that it's switching its inputs correctly. Alright, so I've switched to the TV input and I'll just probe the left in. Yes, we have a signal. I'll now switch it to the DVD input. If I can get this to select. There it is. Probe the left input again. Nothing. Hang on, come on. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting a signal going through all the inputs, so it is switching inputs fine. So now the input's going in, it's just not coming back out. So next what I want to do is I'm going to connect the oscilloscope with a dummy load to, say, the front left output, and I'm going to inject the audio signal into the front left output of the DSP board and see if the signal passes through. Okay, dummy load is connected to the front left. I can turn the amplifier back on. Nothing unusual on the output. So let me just touch my oscillator to my front left output. And we have nothing. So it's not even allowing it to pass through to the power amp. Let me just touch my oscillator to one of these capacitors. Oh, we do have a signal there, it's just very weak. Okay, so there's our output signal going into the power amplifier. And it's really hard, awkward working like this, but it is what it is. Nope, there's no signal. Nothing. Butkus. Okay, that could mean that the DSP board also has to function as a way to mute the audio as well. So that's probably why the signal's not getting from this point to that point. Ew. So, although I should make sure that the volume was turned up, maybe the volume control affects that as well. I don't know, let's find out. So the volume's sitting at minus 20 decibels. Hang on. Ooh. We are actually indeed getting a signal at that point. Just drop the volume on that. Interesting. As Jeranism would say, interesting. So it is actually passing the signal, and the volume control is having effect on that signal at that particular output point. So the volume control would be controlling the op amps underneath, I would assume. So, okay, so if we got signal coming in, but no signal going out, but we can inject the signal in and it comes out there, then yes, the issue is with the DSP board. What exactly that is, I am not 100% sure, but because of all this corrosion, yeah, anything's possible. I did some probing off camera of pin 8 and 4 of each of these op amp ICs, and some of them are having an issue getting a good connection to give me a voltage output. So I might try and carefully resolder them with the soldering iron, and we'll see what happens then. Alright, that was pretty tedious and annoying, but I managed to do it, but it made no difference. I ended up causing a short circuit. My dim bulb glue real bright when I turned it on. Turns out I'd shorted the 5-volt negative regulator out with a solder bridge. Fixed that, it's back to normal. Still no output. So I reckon this digital sound processing board is, for want of a better term, f***ed. There's nothing more I can do to it, apart from trying cleaning it and seeing if the corrosion being removed fixes the problem, but I don't hold out much hope. Basically what I think has to happen is this board will need to be replaced. There's just no two ways about it, and I don't have a board to replace it with. So there's not much I can really do at this point. So I went ahead off camera and I ensured that all the surround outputs have a signal coming from the DTS board by injecting it in and make sure there's output on those channels, and it's controlled by the rotary encoder at the front. Yes, it is. So all 5 channels are working. However, I've had a quick look online. I cannot even find a HTS-105 for sale, so yeah, it's not going to be repairable. I did straighten this socket before I put it back in, but yeah, unless somebody has got a dead HTS-105 that they want to donate me the DTS board or DSP board, whatever you want to call it, that'd be great. Hit me up in the comments if you happen to have one. Anyway, I think that's enough of that today. So I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed it, please remember to rate, comment and subscribe below. And if you haven't done so already, you can also follow me on Facebook or become a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month. Would have been nice to repair this, but not possible. Anyway, this is the Astro 30 saying, see ya, have a great day.